Do you know who Luffy will end up marrying? Could it be Vivi? Or what about Nami? Will Luffy end up marrying his navigator? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down in today's video. We'll be giving each character a percentage of their chance to marry our boy Luffy, starting with the ones who have the least chance, and working our way up to the ones who have the most. Alright, let's jump right into it with the first character, Alvida. But yeah, she's got a 0% chance of marrying Luffy. But wait, doesn't Alvida hate Luffy? Well, not exactly. Although at first she did hate him because he straight up called her fat and shattered her ego, as she literally saw herself as the most beautiful woman on the seas. So she of course tried to take him down, but instead she got humiliated as Luffy sent her flying. But then, after eating the Sube Sube no Mi and becoming slim, things got, well, complicated. Now she's obsessed with him, and she's torn between wanting to kill him for humiliating her and making him hers. Yeah, seriously. Even when Buggy tried to kill him in Logtown, she wasn't happy about it. But she ultimately went along with it. But despite her obsession, Luffy doesn't care. He found her annoying from the start, and he didn't even remember her when she told him who she was. So yeah, unfortunately for Alvida, she's stuck at 0%. Moving up to 1% chance of marrying Luffy, we've got Jewelry Bonnie. At first, Bonnie wasn't exactly a fan of Luffy, as she was furious at him for punching a celestial dragon at Sabaody. But after the time skip, she started to respect him, even praising him for taking down Doflamingo. Then, on Egghead Island, Luffy saved her from drowning. But while she thanked him, she quickly reminded him they're still rivals. But despite their rivalry, they have one huge thing in common: food. Yeah, they totally bonded over their shared love of stuffing their faces. Then, Bonnie's respect for Luffy grew even more after learning he was the sun god Nika, and Luffy even helped her copy his Gear 5 with her Devil Fruit, which she used when they fought together against the Five Elders, strengthening their bond even more. So now some people think they'd look cute together, especially when they're both in Nika form. But here's the problem. Bonnie might look 22 because of her Devil Fruit, but she's actually 12 years old. So yeah, Luffy's gotta wait at least 6 years before this even becomes a conversation. But hey, they both love food, so who knows what the future holds. Now let's talk about Carrot, who's got a 5% chance. Carrot adores Luffy, constantly nibbling on his face and giving him Garchus. She sees him as a strong leader, cares about him deeply, and she was devastated when he was poisoned. But when he recovered, she couldn't contain herself and nibbled all over him out of pure relief. Now Luffy, he likes Carrot a lot too. As I said, she nibbles on him a lot, but he tolerates it even though it annoys him at times. Then, when Katakuri subdued her, he snapped and attacked him to protect her and let her escape, and he trusts her and treats her like a crewmate. But now that Carrot is the leader of the Minks, there's a very small chance this ship ever sets sail. Next up, we've got Vinsmoke Reiju, coming in with a 7% chance of marrying Luffy. At first, she literally came from the sky like an angel and kissed Luffy, although she was just saving his life by sucking out the deadly poison. But why did she even save him? Well, Reiju genuinely likes Luffy, not just for his personality, but for his determination to help Sanji. Unlike her terrible family, Luffy treated Sanji like a real family, and Reiju admired that. She also smiled when Luffy stubbornly demanded Sanji back right after she saved him, and again when she saw them reunite. So she clearly respects Luffy, and Luffy in turn sees her as